Hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining me on this little ride along country lanes. And this is a big thank you to Nick of Silver Fox Travels, who did me the great honour of giving me a really big mention and spreading the word of my little channel among others. Now, many of you of course will know Nick, who lives in Yorkshire and does some wonderful rides in that glorious county. So thank you very much, Nick. Here he is, Silver Fox Travels. So pop across if you don't know of him, and follow him on some of those lovely rides through the Dales and other parts of Yorkshire. Many thanks, Nick. And now we're going to go off on one of my little jaunts down a country lane or two. And we're now into autumn, of course, and here we have fallen leaves, and hence the reason for the title of this ride, Through Leaves. Now, through leaves, what does that mean then? Well, it comes from a saying that the family of Vita Sackville West used to use. And if you know the feeling of kicking through dried leaves, then you'll understand what I'm getting at, perhaps, and what they were getting at. And anything that feels like that sensation of kicking through leaves is through leaves. For example, riding this motorcycle is very much a through leaves experience, especially this morning on this lovely ride. But you can think of many other things, I'm sure, that for you would be through leaves. Just going to pop in here and take a few still photographs from this vantage point, which we stopped up on the way up a week or so ago it was. Now we're on a way up rather than way back rather than going up. So that's the River Loon. You could just see the lovely bridge across the Loon down there if you look closely in the distance. So what else would be considered to be through leaves? Well, I suppose for me it would be something like coming around a corner, suddenly being confronted by the most wonderful view, as I've experienced on a ride actually with not actually with Saddlebags 73, but on one of his channels. He's been in Snowdonia with some friends, and they had some wonderful views of Snowdonia, and that for me was through leaves. But yes, you can think of many yourselves, I'm sure, sharing coffee with a good friend, as I am sharing this ride with you all. Now heading into this little estate road, and this will take us down to another road, and then we'll be off on another little lane, which you won't have seen for a very long time. In fact, I haven't been down it for ages. All the sheep seem to have moved off this estate road in the other field. So we're just going to pop along here for a bit. I did actually talk about this through leaves thing on the Royal Enfield forum that used to be run by Hitchcocks in the UK. It's now, there's only one now, and that's in the USA, which I don't actually watch anymore. I used to quite enjoy the one in the UK occasionally, but I did mention this, did post a comment a bit through leaves, and it met with a resounding silence. Now this is the lovely little lane we're running down now, and you can see we've had a lot of overnight rain, and it's all very mucky, and plenty of leaves and debris down the middle. This is a favourite for horse riders and cyclists and people walking their dogs, but there's no one down it this morning, I'm pleased to say. Just me and you. done over 1,000 miles, 1,015 I think it is, running beautifully. About another 1,000 miles before it's going to be fully running, I think, from my experience of Spitfire and my Meteor, which the Meteor did 2,500 miles and was really smooth, but this is getting a lot better now. It's loosening up, and it's absolutely gorgeous to ride. I just love it, as I do Spitfire. Can't think of two other motorcycles I'd rather be riding. I'm sure there are lots of others that are beautiful too, but these are my favourites, I must say. Oh, it's good to be out riding. Such a lovely autumn morning. Thank you once again for your lovely comments, and we've got a water splash coming up, look. It's exciting. Oh, I haven't been through one of those for a long time. That was a shallow one, just merely a puddle, but nonetheless it was lovely. I have to wash the bike down yet again. When I get back, so I've got to do 6 months service when I get back, which is just a general check over really. Adjust the chain and oil, lubricate various things, bits and pieces. Nothing very difficult. Although it does mean that I have to get down on my hands and knees, of course, to do it. Because as yet I have not sorted out a way of getting the motorcycle up a bit higher. However, I will. Amazing really, all the hustle and bustle of a city, and here we are. Feels like the middle of the countryside. It is, just it is the middle of the countryside really. Just coming down into the village of Bolton-on-Sands, which is the main part is on the A6, just coming out of Lancaster. But this part is sort of a bit of a backwater that very few people would know of, unless the locals would come up this way. It's quite easy if you're coming up the other way, up this lane, is to take a few wrong turnings, as I have done. Now here we are, this is the old part of Bolton-on-Sands. So thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and thank you once again, Nick, and I hope to enjoy your rides in the future myself, as I do at the moment. Thanks for watching, see you soon.